this month, and of course, apparently at the end of the year. Hope you're working towards that success you've been planning for. On behalf of our producer, Haji Amizu Bai, on behalf of our production team, we say welcome one, welcome all. This is where we keep you abreast of all information in and around Nigeria. My name is Afeez Abu. God bless you. God bless Nigeria.
And I am Bioluwatife Adepoju. Good morning.
We'll be back with the headlines after this breather. Don't go anywhere. So yeah, don't shoot. Irú sórí trend ṣe ti máa ẹ̀ orí trend ṣe ti máa irú aṣọ olóò.
Owó suit táyọ̀ wá jáde.
Wọ́n rí bàtà tó wọ̀. Yàtọ̀ yàtọ̀ bá jẹ́ ẹ̀rẹ́ ìrìn ọ̀dọ́.
Ọ̀rọ̀ ṣe tí màlẹ̀ ń jí sólà.
A very big thank you for not breaking away on TNT 102.5 FM. Let's begin serving you headlines on the program this morning. We'll speak to terrorists in language they understand. Buhari.
Oshibajo inaugurates new National Council on Infrastructure.
Buhari makes demand as police nab two soldiers for allegedly killing Islamic cleric.
Strike continues. Uni Abuja ASU tells Nigerians.
Still on clerics, criminals threatening clerics to pay 50 million naira, 100 million naira, IPOB.
And still talking ASU, OAU backs indefinite strike.
Federal High Court reverses ratification of Joyce Odua's suspension as NBA Secretary General.
Still taking stories on ASU. Parents propose 10,000 naira support levy for varsities.
Oriwa clears air on alleged battery case involving suspended Anambra local government boss.
PSE workers threaten strike. Commission suspends recruitment.
$418 million Paris Club refund reductions. Governor's objection baseless. This is coming from Malami.
Tinubu Wike meet in UK. PDP talks wobble.
Still serving you headlines. Nigerians died in 2011, 2015 over the president, Jonathan Buhari. Reno wants Atiku, Obi, Tinubu supporters.
No soldier resigned due to pressure, says COAS.
NYC to call members, don't tarnish name, image of your family, NYC.
Buhari Sultan condemned Yobe Islamic cleric's mother.
2023 census data will help tackle nation's security challenge, Buhari.
FRSC declares rotational number plates illegal.
Drug war, NDLEA advocates stronger private sector participation.
Lagos, federal government begin fresh COVID-19 vaccination.
Still 7 years, helping EFCC to apprehend, prosecute vote buyers.
Osun warns against violence, advises IGP on safety.
Syrup, NGECO federal government and stakeholders urge downward review of TV, radio fees.
Viral video, police not owing salaries, Kwara CP.
Lastly, on headlines this morning, presidency attacks the Guardian editorial on Buhari's stewardship. These and many other stories will be coming your way on today's edition of the Mainstream. We urge you not to go anywhere. Ashman Sonny Pa. What was the motivation behind that?
Ẹsẹ̀ ló parí èrè jù. Ẹsẹ̀ yẹn dàbí kí wọ́n ti gé ẹsẹ̀ rí wá. Ẹ wo ẹsẹ̀ yẹn.
All right, 7 minutes down the hour of 7 o'clock on the AM side from the studios of TNT 102.5 FM. Let's begin to serve your details to those headlines taken earlier on the mainstream. We'll speak to terrorists in language they understand. This is coming from Buhari this morning. President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered security agents to hunt terrorists within Nigeria's borders. Buhari said security agents have the mandate to hunt, pursue, and speak to terrorists in the language they understand. He spoke at a Citizen Summit for National Integration, Peace and Security, organized by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations and Partners, held in Abuja. Represented by the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Mohammed, Buhari said terrorists would be expunged from Nigeria. He promised to successfully tackle terrorism and banditry across the country. He said, "We have directed the military to crush those terrorizing our citizens. Peace and security are gradually being restored to the country." For more on this update, coming from the presidency this morning, the report is on the Daily Post newspaper. We'll speak to terrorists in language they understand, Buhari.
And also taking this from the Daily Post newspaper this morning, we have enough medical doctors in Nigeria, those leaving less than 1,000. And this is coming from Minister Ehanire. Dr. Osagi Ehanire, the Minister of Health, has said that there are actually enough medical doctors in Nigeria. He said the federal government is working towards replacing any medical doctor who resigns and leaves country. At their session on Tuesday in a media conference, said that the number of doctors leaving Nigeria is less than 1,000. According to him, there was no embargo on the employment of doctors and other health personnel in Nigeria. There is no embargo on employing doctors. Where there is a need, we do. But because there is a civil service regulation, there are processes before doctors are employed. We have heard complaints of doctors who are now leaving the system. Actually, enough doctors in the system because we are producing up to 2,000 or 3,000 doctors every year in the country, and the number leaving is less than 1,000. It's just the employment process needs to be smoothened. Osage added, so if we have one replacement, then you aren't likely to have a shortage. Post newspaper this morning, we have enough medical doctors in Nigeria. Those leaving less than 1,000, and this is coming from Minister Ehanire.
Right. From the Daily Post newspaper, Sheikh Aisami, Buhari makes demand as police nab 2 soldiers for allegedly killing Islamic cleric. President Muhammadu Buhari has strongly condemned what he calls the unprovoked and cold-blooded murder of a Yobe State-based Islamic cleric Sheikh Goni Aisami by a callous soldier he had offered a lift, as confirmed by the police. Reacting to the incident on Tuesday, Buhari, in a statement by Garba Shehu, the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, said that this barbaric murder of a compassionate man by a soldier he had assisted has no place in our training as soldiers, and it negates the entire ethos of military life, which is anchored on discipline and respect for the sanctity of innocent lives. According to Buhari, as the commander-in-chief, I am personally outraged by those criminal and wicked acts by law enforcement officials trained to protect life. By our training, we are guided by a code of conduct that frowns on this kind of reckless and criminal act. It is not in our character and training to put innocent citizens in harm's way. For more on this report, you can pick up today's edition of the Daily Post newspaper. Buhari makes demand as police nab 2 soldiers for allegedly killing Islamic cleric.
And taking this from the Guardian newspaper this morning, you are misleading Nigerians, ASU tells federal government. And before the details, we have a rider here. Warns of indefinite strike over 2009 pact. And now to the details. Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has accused the federal government of misleading citizens on underlying issues of the protracted strike with falsehood and cheap blackmail against the lecturers. Minister of Education Adamu had claimed that the federal government had fulfilled almost all the demands of ASU, except the 6 month salaries arrears, which he insisted the no work, no pay would no work, no pay policy would take care of. In a statement released by its Bayero University, Kano, yesterday, ASU said the government's position was a clear branch of trust to the country's educational development. The release, jointly signed by the branch chairman, Professor Aruna Musa, and Secretary Kabiru Isa, lamented that instead of the government to address the contentious matters of concern, it rather resorted to use of media trial to smear the image of ASU in the public. According to the varsity teachers, the federal government should be held responsible for the shutdown of public universities in the country for its continued demonstration of insincerity and lack of commitment towards resolving the impasse. ASU regretted that despite intensive negotiations between ASU and the Professor Nimi Briggs Committee, government decided to jettison the recommendations and instead unilaterally increased the salaries of professors and academics on other cadres with 60,000 naira and 30,000 naira respectively. ASU has also warned that it may go on a total and indefinite action if the government does not implement the new draft agreement of 2009 renegotiation committee report. It is a very long one here from the Guardian newspaper this morning. For more, you can pick up today's edition, checking out for this headline. You are Nigerians, ASU tells federal government.
From the Guardian newspaper to the Punch newspaper, parents propose 10,000 naira support levy for varsities. The National Parents Teacher Association of Nigeria sought audience with the federal government over the lingering strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. The association is also proposing the payment of 10,000 naira per session for each parent to assist government in making more funds available for universities. NAPTAN's Public Relations Officer, Dr. Ademola Ekundayo, disclosed this during an interview with the Punch on Tuesday. Ekundayo, who lamented continued closure of universities in the country, said parents were at the receiving end of a disagreement between the federal government and ASU. He said, "We have submitted a letter to the Office of Education Minister seeking for audience where we hope to discuss the proposal. We are proposing a sum of 10,000 naira rent every session that will be directly paid to the universities. That will be our own contribution apart from other statutory payments in making more funds available to the universities. It can be called parent support levy for universities. We are receiving end of industrial action. We plead with the ASU and federal government to immediately resolve their differences." Right, this particular report and proposal have been sparking different controversies, reactions, and counter-reactions. Parent proposed 10,000 naira support levy for varsities. This is coming from the Punch newspaper. Interesting.
And joining you with the Punch newspaper, still taking stories from the education sector this morning. ASU, OAU backs indefinite strike. Staff Union of Universities, Obafemi Awolowo University branch, has encouraged the National Executive Council of the Union to declare an indefinite strike. This was disclosed in a statement made available to the Punch correspondent. The statement, which was signed by the chairman of the branch, Adiola Egbedokun, knocked the federal government for foot dragging. The statement partly read, principal officers of the union met with the Minister of Education, who presented a take it or leave it offer to the union. This offer was a far cry from the proposed agreement submitted to the government by the Nimi Briggs-led committee. Government proposed to release 170 billion naira for revitalization fund. government proposed to release two tranches of EA as contained in the 2020 MOA. The effective date of implementation of the above was proposed to be June 2023. After all, the monetary implication have been captured in the 2023 budget. Congress also noted that despite the result of the test on UTAS, UPS, and IPPIS, where UTAS emerged as the best of the three, government was still not willing to deploy UTAS but instead was busy setting up technical committee to review IPPIS. Government is also foot dragging on the release of the white paper on visitation panel. Congress resolved that members be more resolute in their support to the leadership of ASU. The National Secretariat should be present on social media to engage the young populace the more and educate them rightly. A very long one here, written on today's edition of the Punch newspaper with this headline: ASU, OAU backs indefinite strike.
All right, still talking ASU strike this morning from the Punch newspaper. Strike continues. Union Abuja ASU tells Nigerians. The NICE receiving 100 billion naira from government. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, University of Abuja branch, has challenged the federal government to mention any of the things done to bring to an end the ongoing strike and backed upon by the union, declaring that the strike will be sustained. The union's branch chairman, Dr. Kasim Omar, stated this in an interview with newsmen at the end of its congress held at the university's mini campus in Gwagwalada on Tuesday. He said that Congress deliberated on issues around the strike and vehemently pronounced and rejects the offer presented by the federal government, saying that the National Executive Council would meet at the end of a 4 weeks ultimatum to take its decision. He said, as far as we are concerned, the federal government has not done anything to our various demands. The federal government should tell the Nigerian public what they've done. The two committees that were set up, the Mini Breaks Committee was set up, the Jubrin Committee was set up, and these committees had their recommendations. Speaking on the no work, no pay policy as stated by the Minister of Education, Adamu, Omar said the ILO and the 1981 Trade Union Act were very clear on that. Our salaries are always negotiated. It is something you feel you can pay us. It is something that you have to sit down to talk and agree that you can pay us. As far as we are concerned, our job is different from any other civil servant. It is the job you're going back to do. You're not paying for an hour. You're paying for the job we've done. So it is their responsibility to pay us. And if they said they're not paying us, it is a joke taken too far. All right, interesting update from the Punch newspaper. Well detailed. For more, pick up today's edition of that publication with this headline: Strike continues. Union Abuja ASU tells Nigerians.
And away from ASU matters this morning, taking this from the Daily Post newspaper, Buhari queries governors on funds as flood kills Nigerians, destroys properties. And also the details. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed sadness about ravaging floods in some parts of Nigeria, asking governors to explain their efforts and usage of funds. Buhari said the situation is under close watch, assuring that the government at the center will keep sending teams to render necessary help. Torrential rains have caused the death of a number of citizens and destroyed properties across the country. The president extended condolences to communities in towns and villages who have lost relatives, suffered damage and destruction of farmland. Buhari also disclosed that the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, had written to all states on the appropriate action ahead of the 2022 wet season. A statement on Tuesday by spokesman Garba Shehu said calls for the federal government to respond to all outbreaks of natural disaster do not just display an understanding of Nigerian law. The presidency urged governors that have swung into action to continue with their efforts and those that have not to immediately face their duties of managing the flooding. From the Daily Post newspaper this morning, Buhari queries governors on funds as flood kills Nigerians, destroys properties.
From the Vanguard newspaper this morning, $418 million Paris Club refund, governor's objection baseless, Malami. And now to the rider, that to the detail, the Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, on Thursday declared that state governors have no basis to complain about deductions from the Paris Club refund paid to consultants they hired. The AGF said that the noise making arising from the governors' forum was not only unjustified but a clear case of absence of defense, speaking when it featured on the ministerial media briefing organized by the presidential communications team at the presidential villa, Abuja. The minister reminded the governors that they created the liability was payment they have also indemnified. Feeling questions on why, despite a presidential directive to suspend the deduction from the Paris Club refund, he has not deemed it fit to enforce the directive, as some deductions were being said to be made. He affirmed that when the Nigerian Governors Forum MG request for the refund, one of the components was the settlement of the consultants who were engaged by the forum. Malami recalled that when the refund was paid to the state, the governors initially made to state part payment was also made to the consultant. I said the governors later decided to stop payment while asking for an out of court settlement. The minister said this resulted to request to the president to make the payment. A request, he said, was then passed on to the office of the AGF for legal opinion. Malami noted that after being subjected to rechecks, it was found out that there was no element of fraud involved. According to him, the indemnity of the governors was also sought and received. He said, on the issue of Paris Club that is raised, you mentioned that there exists a presidential directive that payment should not be made, and then in breach of that position, directives payment were perhaps maybe arising from the conspiracy between the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice payment have been made. All right, it's a long report from the Vanguard newspaper with this headline: $418 million Paris Club refund deductions, governor's objection baseless, Malami.
And from the Guardian newspaper to the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, fake news demoralizing security agencies, and this is coming from Buhari. And now moving to the details. President Muhammad Buhari says fake news and misinformation is fueling apprehension among Nigerians and demoralizing the security agencies. He said this in Abuja yesterday during the Citizen Summit for National Integration, Peace and Security organized by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. Buhari, represented by Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed, also reiterated its call on the security agencies to tackle the battle to terrorists and bandits. He recalled that his government had in 2017 decided to tackle fake news and misinformation as it devoted the entire National Council on Information to the issue. I am glad that many CSOs have taken up this challenge of tackling fake news and misinformation, just like I am delighted that a number of newspapers have set up fact-checking desks, he said. Buhari noted that he had directed the military to take the battle to the terrorists. He said just as his administration had put the seemingly intractable farmers' herders crisis under control, it would also successfully crush the terrorists and bandits. From the Daily Trust newspaper this morning with this headline: Fake news demoralizing security agencies. This is coming from Buhari.
Still serving your report, now from the Daily Post newspaper. The weary of statements you dish to Nigerians, Tanko tells INEC, and now to the detail. Yunusa Tanko, the spokesman for Third Force Coalition of Labour Party, has advised the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to be wary of a statement that dishes out to Nigerians. Tanko made the statement while fielding questions on Channel TV Sunrise Daily following the clarification by INEC on electronic transmission of results. The INEC was quoted saying the result of a forthcoming election would be collated manually. The commission was criticized by many Nigerians across social media platforms over the comment. Festus Okoye, INEC spokesperson, who had announced the clarifications, dismissed the statement and said his comment was misinterpreted. Tanko said although INEC was quick in making clarifications as regards to the processes for the announcement of election results, people were observant and will critically examine any statement the commission makes. To say the fact, people are very observant and critical of any action that will derail the interest and the interest that the people have already consummated in their mind. So any faulty statement that is made by the electoral umpire is being critically examined, and so therefore it is very important to give precaution to the INEC to be wary of the statement they need to dish out, because at any point in time that they made the statement, it can be miscalculated to mean something else, and then it will ignite a lot of fire. Now, with the way in which the result has been sent recently, it has given help to the Nigerians, and so if it seems to be, like I think, being jettisoned by complications of a word of the mouth, a lot of people will kick against it. We did kick against it, but when we saw the clarifications, it resonated and gave back the trust we are hoping to have on INEC. He said, nothing the huge level of distrust in government. He said people were not comforted with the clarifications resulting from the conflicting statement. Well, we cannot say they are comforted. Their eyes will be on the INEC, especially the Nigerian youth who have resonated so well with my own candidates. All right, for more on this report, a very long one, it's on the Daily Post newspaper, 2023. Be wary of statements you dish out to Nigerians, Tanko tells INEC. We'll be going on a very short break, a commercial break. When we return, we'll serve you more stories on today's edition of the mainstream on TNT 102.5 FM, situated on Adasheko Road, Jagbo, Kwara State.
The beauty of being a business owner is getting your products and services known to the world, as well as its great profit margin. Do you want what you do to go beyond the shows of occasion and events?
Nigeria, we talk to
like never before. Look no further. Radio 102.5 is here for you. Put your wares, products, and services right in the waiting hands of your customers. We advertise. This is the medium to thank all the new listeners. We are committed to giving you the best of information, entertainment, and education always and every day. Do stay with us as we visit our commercial unit today for announcement and advert. TNT 102.5 FM along Patricia Road, Ijabo, Kwara State, or telephone 0909 888 1025 or 0909 777 1025 or 0704 TNT 102.5 FM radio. It's your voice, our platform, and your profit.
First edition of the Nigeria Broadcasting Awards is here. Participation and sponsorship information. Follow our social media TND Awards on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Powered by the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria.
This one don't go join this. That's my challenge, man. Never. Laro yela.
John, and Google.
Bobby.
Connection me connect, eh?
John, and Google.
Yeah, Mike.
Welcome back from that commercial break. 32 minutes down the hour of 7 o'clock on the AM side. Welcome back to the mainstream, the program that keeps you coming back for more. Let's continue to serve you details to the headlines taken earlier on the program.
And taking this from the Punch newspaper this morning, PSC workers threatened strike. Commission suspends recruitment. Staff members of the Police Service Commission have threatened to embark on an indefinite strike should the Commission's chairman, Musliu Smith, and the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, fail to resolve issues relating to the recruitment of constables and other pending issues. The chairman, Joint Service Union, PSC chapter, Mr. Adoye, disclosed this in an interview with the Punch correspondent on Tuesday, amidst disagreements between the Commission and the Nigerian police force on which body should be responsible for recruitment of constables. He said, and I quote, we now have a ground to continue with our agitation, and this time around we are embarking on an indefinite strike. We are protesting even to the presidency, and we will let everyone know that we cannot be kept redundant. No law puts the Commission under the Ministry of Police Affairs, but they feel that the Commission should be under the ministry, and the chairman has fallen for that. We have given the Commission and the police force 24 hours to resolve the issue. If not, we'll proceed with our action. He also noted that there was, but the outcome of the retreat was never deliberated upon, nor implemented by the chairman of the PSC. Meanwhile, Force Public Relations Officer Bioluwatife Adepoju on Tuesday said there was no problem between the police and the PSC, adding that the MPF needed to make a clarification on Monday for the sake of potential intakes who might be confused. Adepoju said this while featuring on the Channel's TV program Sunrise Daily on Tuesday. He said, and I quote, we were shocked about the publication for recruitment on a national daily. Even some principal officers of the PSC were shocked. In as much as we are not instituting any investigation into that, we want to assure Nigerians that we are not ready for the 2022 recruitment exercise yet. We have just recruited a 2021 batch who resumed training about 2 weeks ago, and we're talking about recruiting 10,000 people. We cannot train them because our training school is currently occupied, so we are not ready for that now. In a statement by its head of press and public relations, Mr. Ikechukwu Ani, on Tuesday, the PSC noted that all issues regarding police recruitment would be resolved between the Commission and the force in the interest of the nation. From the Punch newspaper this morning, this is the headline: PSC workers threaten strike. Commission suspends recruitment.
From the Punch newspaper this morning, FCCPC director dies, fighting female colleague, probe begins, and now to the detail. The Governing Board of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has instituted an investigative panel to probe the death of its Northwest Zonal Director, Julius Harna. The secretary of the board in Abuja, Tamono Kunbia, in a statement on Tuesday said Harna died in the commission's office on Wednesday in Katsina State. Tamono Kunbia said available information showed that Harna was involved in a dispute which escalated to fisticuffs with an employee of the commission, Muibat Abdul Salam. According to the news agency of Nigeria, Terminal Cumbia said the board had also directed an immediate but temporary relief of relevant leadership and operatives within the commission to ensure fair, transparent, and credible investigation. He said a legal practitioner and a member of a board, Dr. Ben Omoye, have been appointed as the chairman of the investigation panel constituted to investigate the events that led to the death of the director. He said retired ABM Wakili Ahmed, another member of the board, was also appointed as co-chairman of the panel. For more on this update, SCPC director dies fighting female colleague. Probe begins. The report is on the Punch newspaper.
Still taking stories from the Punch newspaper this morning. No soldier resigned due to pressure, says COAS. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, has said the Army will not stop any soldier that observes the right procedures from leaving the service. Yahya disclosed this at the 23rd Combat Service Support Corps Training Week 2022, teamed building the capacity of the Nigerian Army Combat Service Support Corps in combating contemporary security challenges in joint environment held in Lagos. He said, and I quote, saying a soldier resigned due to pressure, does that make sense? A Nigerian soldier, a professional soldier resigns because of pressure? It doesn't make sense. Our job is designed to have pressure, and we are trained all across to have pressure. But the army and others also have their own terms and conditions of service. They are what are called harmonized terms and conditions of service. When you join the army, it's voluntary. And now there are also conditions at which when you want to do other things, also you can do. For you to leave the army and do other things, there is a period. It is contained in our books. You apply, stating the reasons why you should leave, and these reasons are considered and granted. There is no constriction whatsoever. Such soldiers who leave contribute in other fields, and with the training and discipline he has got in the army, anywhere he goes after retirement, he will do well. I challenge you all to check where all our retired soldiers go. They will be doing well because they have trained with the values and virtues of dedication and commitment and discipline. The state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, represented by his chief of staff, Tayo Ayinde, stated that the state will continue to contribute its quota towards strengthening the capacity of the Nigerian army in the discharge of its constitutional roles. Reading out today's edition of the Punch newspaper with this headline, no soldier resigned due to pressure, says COAS.
From the Punch newspaper still, Tinubu weekend meet in UK, PDP talks wobble. There are strong indications that the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate Bola Tinubu is intensifying efforts to get the support of a Rivers State governor in some wiki for the 2023 presidential poll. Contrary to some online reports that the duo met in France on Tuesday, multiple resources confirms to the Punch on Tuesday that Tinubu and Wike met in London, the United Kingdom, on Monday as part of moves to work together ahead of the election. Just gathered that some APC and People's Democratic Party governors also attended the crucial meeting. Prior to the Monday meeting, the ruling party had attempted to caution on the crisis in the PDP over the presidential primary won by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, which left Wike aggrieved.
Sorry.
For more on this report, Tinubu Wike meets in UK, PDP talks wobble. It's on the Punch newspaper.
And still taking stories from the Punch newspaper this morning. Oshun warns against violence, advises IGP on safety. Osun State government has warned those perpetrating violence in the state to desist or they would be made to face the full wrath of the law. It also called on the Inspector General of Police, Osman Baba, and other security agencies to ensure adequate protection for the residents. This was contained in a statement issued on Tuesday by the State Commissioner for Information and Civic Orientation, Funke Egbemode, after the weekly State Executive Council meeting. The statement said the warning was consequent upon reported assassinations of chieftains of the All Progressive Congress as well as violent attacks on party members, including the wife of the governor, Mrs. Kafayat Oyetola, while calling for calm among the residents. The governor also revealed that it was aware of plans by the opposition to further unleash terror on government officials and members of the APC in the days ahead. The statement read, and I quote, "The government is very worried about the spate of politically motivated assassinations in Osho, a state that has enjoyed peace and tranquility in the last 4 years and has earned its rating as the nation's safest place. We have intelligence reports that more of such attacks are being planned and targeted at government officials and chieftains of the ruling party in order to further eat up the polity of the state and by extension disrupt the peace of the state." This is written on today's edition of the Punch newspaper with this headline: Oshun warns against violence, advises IGP on safety.
From the Daily Post newspaper, NBA conference, Shatima dressed shabily to distract Nigerians. This is coming from a mockery. An ex-aide to former President Goodluck Jonathan, Reno Mokri, says the All Progressives Congress APC vice presidential candidate, former governor of Borno State, Kashim Shatima, dressed so shabily to the annual general conference of the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) to distract Nigerians. Omokri, on his verified Facebook page, claimed Shatima, as a former banker, obviously knew better than to dress so shabily for an event that the nation had been focusing on. He said the APC vice presidential candidate dressed in that manner to distract Nigerians from the party's presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who may have flown to Paris on medical grounds. The former aide to ex-president Jonathan described Shatima as a deep thinker and very calculating. He lamented that Nigerians are now laughing at Shatima, but he's laughing at us, adding that everybody is talking about him, but nobody noticed that Tinubu may have sneaked out of Nigeria to fix his health in Paris. Amakri stated, "I'm a deep thinker. I even think in my sleep too often. I've suddenly woken up in the early hours of the morning with a solution or insight to a challenge, a puzzle, or riddle my mind was agitating upon. And knowing what I know about Senator Kashim Shatima, it was obvious to me that he knew better than to dress so shabily to an event that the nation had been focusing on. He's a former banker, is used to corporate dressing. He knows how to wear a suit and tie with the right pairs of shoes. As a matter of fact, I googled him and behold, there was not one, but 5 photos of him properly suited up in well-fitting suits with the right button buttoned and the short with the appropriate pair of shoes, including the power dressing he projected when he gave an interview to CNN. You see, when something is too obvious, then it may not be as obvious as we think. My intel on Shatima is that, like me, he's also a deep thinker, and unlike me, I'm informed that he's very calculating, he's not vain, is capable of looking the fool and wearing a poker face if it will help him pull off a classic sleight of hand. Hillary Clinton once said, "If I want to knock a story off a front page, I just change my hairstyle." Interesting. For more, it's on the Daily Post newspaper. NBA conference, Shatima dressed shabily to distract Nigerians. A mockery, and that particular outfit from the vice presidential candidate has been generating reactions and counter reactions among Nigerians. Even Nigerian, you'll have to go as far as, coming up with a challenge on that. All right, that's how far we can go. 7-year story in the first segment of a program, the mainstream this morning.
What's this everybody challenge?
Now you are you.
So you want to join it? So you want to join the challenge?
I think in my sleep.
Oh, people like that.
All right, for you to be part of a program this morning, the studio lines are 0909 444 1025, 0909 or 0701 384 1025, 0701 384 1025. You can as well dial 0905-897-3138, 0905-897-3138. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from. You may proceed. Comrade, run.
The leaders of this party, that is wrong with them. When they meet, they give themselves, they bring themselves, and talk to themselves. Why the followers need to see themselves? It's unfortunate. I want you leader of this party to talk to their people to avoid violence as much as possible so that I can give you the chance. Thank you very much.
God bless you too. Thank you for dropping by. 0909-444-1025 or 0905-897-3138, 0905-897-3138 or 0701-384-1025, 0701-384-1025 for you to be part of a program this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Kinja. I'm calling from the Lagos Calamity.
Thank you for joining us.
Because I connected to appreciate all your efforts that we do.
Thank you.
My own is about the electoral issue of the African right. Hello.
We can hear you. We can.
So the government is trying to do what it needs to be done that they can recruit back to school. Definitely, hopefully, that the listening has put us on our mind. Over 10 years ago now. Just because of the political party or whatever, I want to do the power. And people to put money in that. I won't feel. But it has not got problems now. So thank you so much. Long years next year.
Amen. Thank you for your contribution. 0905-897-3138, 0905-897-3138 or 0909-444-1025. Hello, good morning. We're glad to have you. All right, thank you. God bless you too. Thank you for dropping by on the show. 0905-897-3138.
Hello, good morning. 0909-444-1025. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, we lost that. 0905 897 3138 or you dial 0701 384 1025. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Thank you. My name is Comrade Olaji. I'm calling from the Muslim. You can see the bombardment of the terrorists now. When our senator comes with the position of impeaching the president, you can see there is difference now. The president has spoken up to give orders to the military to bombard the terrorists. But now, we still need the help of our senator. They should see compel the president to make sure ASU go back to school. The university should be open. Without that, they should make arrest through the treatment move so that the president will do the needful and allow our students to go back to school. What will help Nigeria?
All right, thank you, comrade, for your contribution.
Hello, good morning. Oh, we lost that 0905 897 3138. Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, Pastor Adepoju.
We're glad to have you this morning.
Yes, sir. One can see that senators and the other legislators are now alive with their business, maybe because of our speed that we are crying. They are listening to our crying. So that's why we are not that. The same way, as just like my country, since you want that worry to do the needful as the anti-strike is concerned. So we are for the anti-examination in the United States. And by two things, so that our children will go back to school. They love in the house, they have nothing to do at home. So let them for God's sake do the needful. Let the God bless you. God will suffer Nigeria one day. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution, Pastor Adedayo. 0701 384 1025. 0701 384 1025. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir.
I am Dr. I'm on the caller of the calling from Oba.
We're glad to have you this morning.
My contribution this morning is going to be on give you credit to our community that he said let us use demoralizing the Nigerian army. I want to say to everybody that the government has said as one using propaganda in all what they are doing to keep Nigeria to freedom. My reason is this. We heard that the military are bombarding the terrorists and everybody Nigeria is saying hallelujah and hallelujah. Now, how many entries of the terrorists that were bombarded were shown on the television on the Facebook? So they are now telling us that Nigeria is at the end of winning the war. Why if they kill full iPods in the east, they will show the picture. Why are we not showing the photos of terrorist entry the day was valid? And again, if they were really, if the terrorists are really on fire, when one of them has the gun, they're going to get money when 1 year old and of Nigerian of Kaduna Abuja Independent Trade. Please.
All right, thank you. All right, God bless you too. Thank you for dropping by on the show this morning. Let's see if we can quickly sneak in just one more call before dropping our goodbye. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. Hello, good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from? Good to have you.
they're trying to recover. There's no same thing that can be said. Not everybody can one day that you know and see that one day second one.
All right, thank you.
So there's no better understanding.
All right, thank you. God bless you too. Thank you for dropping by. And with that call from Mr. Nolako, we call it a day. And today's edition of the mainstream on Tiwantiwa 102.5 FM. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. We appreciate you for joining us. Let's do this again tomorrow morning. My name is Afeez Abu, a patriotic citizen of Nigeria. And remember, when digging the grave of your enemy, remember to make it shallow. You might end up falling into it.
And I am Bioluwatife Adepoju. Do after yourself a lovely day.